is Sana, and I am the lead IQA and training director for ELN. Welcome to today's episode. We have the training team with me here, and we'll be introducing them as we go along. For now, we'll jump right in. So today's show is going to be about the 3 teacher training qualifications. They're called teacher training or trainer training qualifications, and the 3 of them kind of go hand in hand or have a pathway going through the education and training suite approved by Ofqual in the UK. These qualifications are also recognized in over 40 countries, so we do get registrations on these qualifications outside the UK as well, so relevant to a larger audience. And if today I'm just going to go one by one through the qualifications. We'll meet the tutors and hopefully we'll answer a couple of questions that people have about the qualifications. Towards the end, I am going to talk a little bit about the new diploma in education and training, which Ofqual and the Education Training Foundation are going to release around 2024. The dates are tentative. But yeah, just to give you a slight idea of how the qualification framework is changing. And yeah, that's the agenda for today. So let's get started. So the first qualification is a Level 3 Award in Education and Training. This used to be called the PTLLS course, PTLLS, Preparing to Teach in the Lifelong Learning Sector. And this got phased out around 2013. And it was due for, all of these qualifications were due for review around, COVID times, and that got delayed, obviously. And yeah, so this has been quite long running now for about 10 years. And as we talk about them, you'll see quite due for an upgrade. However, the Level 3 Award in Education and Training is what we call a pre-service qualification. Usually there's no experience required and you don't even need to be currently teaching anywhere. So it really is a good qualification if you're unsure about teaching or training, and if you just want to, not commit to a longer, more difficult course. We usually give about 6 months to complete this course, and that's quite a long time. In the classroom, this course you can do in about 4 to 5 days full time. And it is made up of 3 units. The Unit 1 is roles and responsibilities. Unit 2 is all about inclusive teaching. So you cover the theory of inclusive teaching, and you also do a 15-minute microteach. More about that in a bit. And the Unit 3 is about assessment in education. Now, we do add on the assessor Unit 1 here sometimes for a little bit extra, which is the understanding principles and practices of assessment. We've talked about this in the previous podcast titled, Should I Become an Assessor? And we've also discussed the difference between this unit and the assessor Unit 1, which is a little bit more in-depth. This is a little bit more of a lighter, more generic overview of assessment and education. So yeah, if you think that you could potentially be looking at assessing as well as training, it's a very good option and very low commitment option to add on the Unit 1 assessor unit to this qualification. So you get a training qualification as well as like half an assessor qualification. And before I go into any further detail, I want to introduce Farheen. She's our tutor for the Level 3 Award in Education and Training. Hi, Farheen.
Hi, thank you for introducing me. And yes, I am the tutor for AT. And I have been working with ELN for almost 2 years now. And I think the main question that learners usually have when they do this course, they usually have questions about the microteach. And I've done a couple of live tutorials with them. And, I also do one-on-one with them if they want to, whenever they want. So that's also basically the microteach is just a little 15-minute session that a learner has to do, and they have to make sure they have 3 learners with them that they're going to be teaching, and it can be about anything. Like I've had, usually the sectors that I usually cover are beauty and security training, and there's first aiders. So and nurses. We have a lot of, it's very generic. So it can be about anything. Like I've also had people teaching how to make paper airplanes, So it can be that, or it could be CPR, or it could be something more serious. It just depends on what you're doing, what you're teaching, what your interest is in. And yeah, it's I'm here to help you all along. So if there are any other, questions that people have or anything, so I'm here to answer them.
That's great. Thank you, Farheen. I remember when I used to be assessing this qualification, I used to really look forward to the micro-teach. I remember, and it's really the simple ones that stick out. I remember some of the best ones that I've had was how to tie a knot and how to make a cup of tea.
Yeah, that's cute.
It is. And I never, ever knew it was so complicated to make different types of knots. But yeah, so there you go. You learn something every time.
Yes.
Dee, were you going to say something there?
Yeah, just that I agree with you. I really enjoy the micro teachers, and my favourite one I think was when somebody was doing steak and they were teaching you how to cook steak and where the bits came from and all that. It was really informative. And again, like you say, you realise how much there is to know about these things sometimes. So yeah, so just really
and you'd
it.
come off the dinner. That's a Freudian slip. You'd come off the observation very hungry.